Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Shay. Welcome back to Art of Becoming, the series where we explore healing, growth, self-discovery, and the messy, beautiful process of figuring out who we are. Today's video is called When Healing Hurts Someone You Love. And honestly, I almost didn't make this video because it's easy to talk about healing when you're the one hurting. It's much harder to talk about healing when your growth ends up hurting someone you care about. And that's what I want to talk about today. For a long time, I believed healing would feel empowering, liberating, exciting. I thought it would be this beautiful journey where I slowly became a healthier version of myself and everyone around me would celebrate it. But that's not what happened. What nobody prepared me for was the fact that healing changes relationships, sometimes dramatically, sometimes permanently, and sometimes those changes hurt people you never wanted to hurt. For most of my life, I put other people first, their comfort, their needs, their expectations, their happiness. And somewhere along the way, I lost myself. Not all at once, just little pieces, one compromise at a time, one ignored feeling at a time, one swallowed emotion at a time. Until eventually I couldn't recognize the person looking back at me. I was surviving, but I wasn't living. And over the last year, I've worked really hard to change that. I've spent countless hours reflecting, journaling, learning, going to therapy, questioning old beliefs, questioning old patterns, trying to understand who I am underneath all the survival mechanisms I've built over the years, and healing has changed me more than I ever expected. One of the hardest truths I've had to accept is that healing didn't just change how I see myself, it changed how I see my relationships too, including my marriage. For years, I felt emotionally unsafe. I felt manipulated, controlled, like I was constantly questioning myself, like I was losing trust in my own thoughts and feelings. Whether every moment was intentional or not isn't the point. The point is that it changed me. It changed how I felt. It changed how I loved. And eventually, it changed whether I could continue the relationship at all. Long before I physically left, part of me had already emotionally checked out. Not because I wanted to, not because I was looking for someone else, not because I stopped caring, but because I was exhausted, because surviving isn't the same thing as thriving. And eventually I reached a point where I knew something had to change, so I left. And I started healing. And then something happened that I wasn't expecting. I found emotional safety, not perfection, not some fairy tale romance, not someone who magically fixed all my problems, just safety. The kind of safety where I don't feel like I have to hide parts of myself. The kind of safety where I don't feel judged for every thought. The kind of safety where I can show up exactly as I am. Flaws, trauma, ADHD, messy emotions, all of it. And for the first time in a very long time, I felt seen, I felt accepted, I felt safe. And that's where the guilt started. Because finding safety for myself meant someone else was losing something important. My husband still loves me. He still cares, he still helps me, he still supports me in ways he doesn't have to. And knowing that doesn't make any of this easier. In some ways, it makes it harder. Because there's a part of me that wishes I could be what he needs. A part of me that wishes I could simply decide to love him the way he deserves to be loved. A part of me that wishes I could put everything back together and make the pain disappear. But that's not how love works. And it's not how healing works either. You can't force your heart to feel something it doesn't. You can't heal by pretending. And you can't build a healthy future on a foundation of dishonesty, as difficult as that truth is. But the hardest part of all isn't me, it's my daughter. Because children don't understand the complexities of adult relationships. They don't see years of emotional wounds, they don't see unhealthy dynamics, they don't see therapy sessions and self-reflection and personal growth. They see mommy and daddy. And they want their family together. They want things to go back to the way they were. And when your child is hurting, every instinct inside you wants to fix it. Every instinct wants to sacrifice yourself to make the pain stop. But healing has taught me something incredibly difficult. Sometimes protecting your child doesn't mean pretending. Sometimes protecting your child means showing them what honesty looks like, what boundaries look like, what self-respect looks like, what authenticity looks like. Even when it's painful, especially when it's painful. Because one day she will grow up too. One day she will have relationships. One day she will have to decide what she deserves. And I want her to know that she never has to abandon herself to keep other people comfortable, even people she loves, especially people she loves. One of the hardest lessons I've learned is that someone else's pain does not automatically mean you've made the wrong decision. Sometimes it simply means your decision changed their life too. And that's where I find myself now. Holding compassion for multiple people at the same time. For my husband, for my daughter, for myself. Because all of us are hurting. All of us are grieving something. All of us are trying to navigate a future that looks different than the one we imagined. And maybe that's what healing actually is. Not escaping pain, not finding perfection, not arriving at some magical destination where everything suddenly makes sense. Maybe healing is learning how to carry difficult truths with grace, learning how to love people without losing yourself, learning how to move forward without becoming bitter, learning how to hold compassion for everyone involved, including yourself. Because becoming isn't always beautiful. Sometimes becoming comes with guilt. Sometimes becoming comes with grief. Sometimes becoming comes with breaking hearts, including your own. But it is still becoming, and it is still growth. And maybe the most loving thing we can do is stop pretending. Even when the truth hurts, even when people don't understand, even when we wish things could have been different. Sometimes healing isn't about finding happiness. Sometimes it's about finding honesty. And honesty can be painful. Painful for us, painful for the people we love, painful for the people who love us. But if healing has taught me anything, it's that pretending doesn't protect anyone. It only delays the truth. And while I can't take away everyone's hurt, I can choose to move forward with compassion, with gratitude, with accountability, and with honesty. This has been Art of Becoming. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for growing alongside me. If this story resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video of Art of Becoming, please like, share, and subscribe. Every story, every lesson, and every step forward helps us realize we're not walking this road alone. Until next time, beautiful souls, keep healing, keep growing, and keep becoming.